one of the funniest characters of all time, Ashley Larry. And in memory of that, I got cocoa butter for you,
let me get that, son.
There you go, son.
Yo, I did a video, cocoa butter. I got cocoa butter.
And we remember the
this
song.
Worst, though, man. It's that dollar store. I want that, man.
It dissolves directly into that little crease right here.
You got to step your
little crease
game up, son.
Hey, man, namesake of the Donnell Rawlings Podcast show, the guy who made it okay for people to curse out loud in public by saying,
I'm rich, bitch!
The man that made it okay for me to curse at my job, and the man that makes it okay to joke about things way too soon, and the only person to create a candle strong enough to fight the rancid stench of $40 twerk win, Donnell Rawlings in the building.
Yo, that's the introduction. I'm like this. This dude is on it, son.
Take me on the road, bro.
I used the other stuff I usually hear, Chappelle Show, The Wire, but the thing that was most impressive is the fact that I came up with a candle to fight the ash, son, and to fight twerk win. If you don't know what twerk win is, and you live in Atlanta,
yeah, they know what it is.
You know exactly.
They know exactly what it is.
This candle I came up with called Black Ash will eliminate some of the foulest twerk wins in the history of twerking.
Now I have a question about that.
Another thing, this will eliminate for some people, and I live in California, so I can say it will eliminate the odors of Swisher Sweets.
Okay.
Backwoods.
They still use those. Okay.
What else? The Game.
Okay. What else? Frito feet. Hot Cheeto.
I saw a girl at 3 o'clock in the morning get out of her Uber, look like she's about to go smash, walk in the store and order a bag of hot Cheetos and left.
That's terrible.
I'm like, what are you doing eating hot Cheetos at 3 o'clock in the morning?
You know what she's doing. She's getting
doing
to it.
Something.
Some type of $40 activity is happening right there.
And that candle that I have will eliminate the odors of hot Cheetos and twerk win at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, now does the wax, does it like double as some type of moisturizer?
It doesn't do that, but what it is like it's a wind of the wax. The wax is black, but when you burn it, it emits an ash type of tone.
Oh,
so it's a candle that goes from ashy to classy.
I love it. It. Only you could create that, man. One time
Only me and God, and my God is a good God.
Donnell Rawlings in the building, man. I appreciate you coming through and giving us a few minutes of your time, bro. Like I said, you a legend again. I don't mean to call you old. I just mean like you've been doing it.
I'm old and I'm still nice with it, though. We all gonna get old. Nice. Hopefully, we all gonna get old.
Yeah, for real.
Old.
We are.
So it's how you age. Can you age ornery and upset, or can you age happy, inspired and motivated? And that's what I'm doing with it.
I love how you doing it right now too, man. Pause. All right, so listen, let's get right into this interview because this podcast, I want to talk about that for a second, man. Sir. I see you on like episode 12, 13, something
14.
Right now?
This
14.
week will be episode 14.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so how did this all get started? Because I saw you doing the Breakfast Club interviews and all that.
The idea was thought of. I did Joe Rogan's podcast maybe a year ago.
Right.
And we were talking about.
You kept cutting off. What's the name?
Yeah. I know that's the third one.
Okay.
So the first one, Joe was like, I was talking to him about me being on the road so much, and I got a young son, and I want to spend more time with him, but my money is on the road.
Right.
I don't make money as an actor. And I was like, I need to reinvent myself to Hollywood. Maybe try to get a sitcom or something. And then he looked at me, he's like, just start a podcast. And my thoughts were like, yeah, but I said I need to get money. Ain't no money in podcasts. And then I looked at some of the successful podcasters in the country, in the world, and I see what they're doing in regard to money. And I was like, you know what? Podcasting isn't a bad idea.
Might be the move. Okay.
So Joe encouraged me to do it then. I said I was going to do it, but I was nervous because I'm not used to it. I knew if I did a podcast, I wasn't going to start off with the biggest guests. So probably just me by myself.
But how not, though? You got a Rolodex.
The reason why is because I don't like to call people. You know what I'm saying? Like my entire career has been not asking of a favor,
right?
But just prove myself enough where people want to work with me.
Yeah.
But I'm not a dude to pick up the phone and say, hey, would you do this?
Right.
So I knew my attitude toward that would probably be somewhat of discouraging in the world of podcasts. You got to be able to ask for favors.
Yeah.
You got to be able to call people. So I was like, I'm going to have to train myself just to talk to myself. And I couldn't do it. I was like this. I could go in front of 25,000 people.
And do it.
But me talking to myself,
it's
and
different.
I know you do this show.
Right.
So I know, like, at times you have to talk with nobody.
Yeah, I got to talk to and just imagine people listening. And it's different energy when you got that crowd in front of you, though. I get it.
You know what I'm saying? The difference is that's your comfort zone is, you don't have to have anybody in here. My comfort zone is having people in front of me.
You know what I like, though? I like how you, and right now we're talking with Donnell Rawlings, talking about his podcast and some of the things he's reinventing himself in 2020 and going to get that new bag.
Yeah.
But I love how you were taking calls. Like, I love that because you would get, on the
but
podcast.
Just to go back really quick on what you were talking about, how I started it.
Uh-huh.
So Joe Rogan was like, do it. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And I procrastinated. He was bullying me all over the comments. He was like, where's the podcast? You want to do it? So I had another podcast appearance on his show. And I was like, okay. He asked me about it, and I went in my car like 2 hours before and just recorded myself by myself. And I was like, this is going to be my first podcast. I asked him, would he do it? It's in my phone. Could he take it? He said he'd produce it. Yeah. Right? So I'm excited. And then he says, yo, the RZA from Wu-Tang is coming in next.
Right.
Do you want to hang out? I hadn't seen my son in 6 days being on the road. And I said, I love Wu-Tang, but I love my son more than anything. So I said, I'm going to leave. So I'm leaving. As soon as I'm leaving, RZA pulls up. He get out the car. First thing RZA says is, what's up, Ashy Larry, you funny motherfucker? Right?
Now you gotta stay.
Yo, I was like, fuck my son. Wu-Tang forever, son.
And this
I was
is
like, that little
parenting
girl
at
look
its
like
best.
me. He might not be my son. I'm being Wu-Tang. And then RZA came on, and I talked to RZA about doing music for the podcast. And basically, the thought was there, but the birth of the podcast really started.
Yeah, so that's
really
episode
right
0. That's episode 0 right there, because that's the one everybody has been talking about with you, with Rogan and the RZA. And
yeah,
everything.
but that's the one everybody was hating on me because they say, now this is what the street said.
The street saying.
The street said is that I ruined the RZA podcast with Joe Rogan. They said you ruined it. And I'm telling you, the streets is hard, man. This trolling life, it's hard, man. You be trying to say, I ain't going to read the comments, right? Then you get 2 good comments.
Right.
Then you like, okay, I'm going to read 2 more. Then, bam, they start hitting you, son.
Bro,
They was on me so bad. They had a hashtag, and the hashtag was called, Let RZA Speak.
Free him.
That was it.
Free him.
And then the trolls now,
Right.
like, they don't, I grew up when somebody said something in your face.
Yeah.
They can get behind the keyboard.
And type.
Man, they get so mad at you. They tell you exactly what time on a time code they was
at 3:36. I was disgusted with you, Donnell.
At 3:36, it was,
I was
cringe.
appalled.
It was unlistenable at 3:39. I wish I could get 30 minutes of my life back. They go hard.
Oh,
son.
they do go hard.
No, but they did. Anytime with me, whenever you come at me, it motivates me to go harder in something else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we see that by your Instagram page, bro.
I go hard, son.
Yeah.
I go like.
You're the troll of all trolls, though.
But it's not a troll. My thing is like, my trolling is never like to like be disingenuous.
Right.
It's never to lie. It's never to like, you get 1,000 comments, everybody like, yo, he's dope, he's fire. And then that one person is like, well, I expected more. That's a troll.
Yeah, that is a troll.
I'm a person that's engaged in social media.
So what do you identify as a person who bullies people on the internet in the most entertaining and funny way possible? When I say bully, I don't mean like a
I'm
bully.
Tell you, Breakfast Club,
right?
I go in, son.
You do. The broom one had me dead.
I'm not gonna stop going at the Breakfast Club as long as they invite guests up there and they pulling fake booties with nuts and stuff for people to play with. I'm not gonna start.
Well, this is a booty-free studio.
As long as they're accepting gifts of chocolate dildos from Antonio Brown, I'm not going to stop.
Right.
And to be quite honest, they owe me a public apology, and I want an apology. Stop disrespecting me.
You can put some respect on his name.
Y'all. When we was in Miami, y'all saw us in Miami. Y'all went out the back door. Why y'all go out the back door? We was there. Nobody said nothing. But now you want to get back home and you want to talk about all this and that and everything. Why you ain't say nothing to us when we was in Miami? And let me tell you something.
Speak your truth, brother.
Let me tell you something. Next time you come to L.A., you better check in.
Okay, then.
You can't just come to L.A. like that.
You gotta check in.
I got the cholos. What are they called? The Mexican thugs?
Cholo. I feel like another.
No, I got the cholos, yo. Yo, Holmes, don't come in here with that. You know, I'm sorry, we coming at them.
No, no problems
yo,
with
check
him.
yourself. You know what happened in Miami? You try to act like you ignoring it, but you're going to see us again. R.I.P. Pop Smoke.
There you go, man. My homie Donnell Rawlings in the building. We're talking about a few things right now. Now, you say you're not getting movie money, but I see that you in this Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Ain't no money. There wasn't no crazy money with that. This is the illusion of television
Okay.
and movies. People think just because they see you on TV, you're making a lot of money. First off, it all depends on the project. That project was basically, I built a relationship with Kevin Smith maybe 2 years before that.
He's on everything.
He's on everything. And we did a series called Hollyweed that didn't get picked up, but we built a relationship.
Right.
And we built a relationship which like I know that I was in his eyesight for future projects.
Mm-hmm.
So when Jay and Silent Bob a reboot came through, he's a fan of mine. I'm a fan of his.
Right.
That's what we
That
call
makes
it,
a lot of
threw me a
sense.
bone.
Yeah.
I probably got paid
Enough.
$1,000.
Enough though.
No, maybe a couple of that, just a day rate.
Right. I got
Because
you.
everybody in that movie was like for just his true
His fans, the
his
fan
fans.
base, which
he
they
did
had.
not have the money to pay everybody that was in that movie.
That's
But
crazy.
everybody in that movie was people that loved him. So those type of projects.
That was for the
you
love.
do. Yeah,
It
was for the
seemed
love,
like
yeah.
you do things for that, man. Obviously, you're very talented to be able to
Thank
keep
you.
going. Man, Donnell Rawlings right now, we're just talking about this kind of the state of comedy because you got so many voices. As you just talked about trolling. Now you talk about how people can jump on things, and you were talking about your too soon things. How did that come about? Like I know how your stand up is, but how did it come about to transform it to social media?
It just was. Basically, it was just finding the right words to describe a style of comedy that I've been doing for years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my style of comedy is like I push the limits. You know,
Definitely.
and I'm going to be on top of topical things, current events, but I'm going to find a funny side, and sometimes it could be dark or like, oh, I can't believe he said that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that. Again, I'll say it again: a joke could be too soon, but never could be too soon for a funny observation. That's been my style of comedy forever. But you know, on social media, it kind of forces you to like put your ideas more together. Like, where it would be like, this is a style. Like, okay, I can make this a hashtag.
And they got to make it make sense like that.
Make it make sense.
So people can't run off with the wrong way to an extent.
And then I met a guy on the internet, bearded humor, Andy Singer, this like redneck looking white dude. You never get how funny of a person he is through the meme thing, which is a whole different style of comedy. We met online, and he had the same sense of humor that I have.
Yeah.
Like, push it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, always keep them laughing.
So
we partnered up or got together. And between me and him, I don't know if it's anybody as fast as we are. Like,
I seen y'all. I seen y'all. Y'all did some live shows together, right?
No, we did 1 or 2 live shows.
Right.
But I can say that we are always on what the hottest thing is in the news in the streets, and we find some humor in it.
I love that, man. Donnell Rawlings right here, man. And we talk about comedians that have had a run like you. I heard somebody say once, what's his funny joke? I know your funny joke. Because every time I walk into a restaurant, I'll be like, is they Chinese, Japanese, Korean Chinese? Like, bruh.
That was one of my that was one of my strongest characters when I first started.
Yeah.
I used to talk about how I used to go to like the Korean fast food spot, and I would get in arguments with this older Korean guy. And it's an old character, but I've somehow figured out a way to introduce him to different situations and stuff. But yeah, that was one of my, especially when I first started, one of my strongest characters, and I brought him back.
Yeah, man. I that joke had me dying. It was something like people used to repeat, and I was like, that's a funny joke you could carry on, man.
Oh yeah, forever, because everybody knows that that older angry Asian dude.
Facts.
We're doing more now with the corona. Everybody watching out for him.
I know, which is it's terrible. It's terrible.
Corona.
It's terrible. I saw you on TMZ too with the mask, bro.
Yo, man, you got to get the M3 N95. One of you. There's people walking around with Halloween masks. That ain't gonna stop.
That ain't gonna stop the coronavirus.
You Freddy Krueger, dude. That you still gonna get corona. What you talking about?
It can get through the Party City mask.
Yep.
Well, you see a lot of comics kind of linking up, doing different things. I see this big festival going on with like Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle and stuff like that. Are you gonna be a part of that?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, I just got a great phone call.
Okay, you
Just
can't
so
say
funny.
nothing. I can't. Oh, did I mess something up? Did we
No,
too soon?
not really, because
Hashtag too
I'm
soon.
just saying they had the Netflix comedy festival,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the biggest names in comedy. And I'll put it like this: I just got a call from my agent saying that one of the biggest names in comedy is doing a show to be released on Netflix, and they want you to be a part of it.
Sheesh.
So just leave it like that. I'll just leave it like that.
I gotta drop a bomb for
One of the
that.
biggest
I got an
names.
exclusive.
One of the biggest names.
I got an exclusive from Donnell Rawlings.
One of the biggest names. One of the biggest. That's all I'm saying. I'm really, really excited because everybody's like, when are you going to get your album special? And I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. But until then, you just got to keep on chipping away. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did Netflix Degenerate. You know what I'm saying? That was a look. I did Monique and Friends.
Yes.
Showtime. That was a look. I did True TV. That was a look.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the ultimate hour, but you got to just keep
Well,
going
you
for it.
showing your
When I did
funny
Netflix
consistently.
The Generate, they were like, people was like, oh, man, you might want to say some material for your special. I'm like, ain't nobody offer me a special. They offer me 15 minutes. So whatever they offer me, I'll smoke it,
About to give it to him.
write some more jokes, and
Right.
just smoke it again and smoke it again. But I'm excited about it. I just got that phone call today. I'm excited about it. So it's going to be another little piece to put into the big picture. Everybody's life lives as a puzzle.
Mm.
You get the outside edges first, and then you start working it on the inside.
all the middle
just
in.
working it on the inside until the picture is complete. When I wanted to just inspire and motivate the world, right now the biggest person I need to do that for is my son.
Because he's going to actually carry on a legacy and be putting that same energy into other people. So I love that
And
right
whether
there.
that's following in my footsteps of being a comedian or acting, whether it's him wanting to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, as long as he has that energy and that vibe, he gonna be all right in the world.
That's dope right there, man. Donnell Rawlings, I appreciate you, bro, for coming through
Thanks for
and
having
spending that knowledge because these young black fathers hearing that, we need more of that type of narrative.
And I know in a lot of situations, the most awful thing for me is to know someone that has a kid and they're not in their kids' lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And being in your kid's life is not necessarily just like, oh, I got him these Jordans. I gave him some money. I took him to Chuck E. Cheese. That's all cool. That's all cool right now. The time is the only thing we can't avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Because when a kid gets to a certain age and he in our locker room with his buddies, and the dude's like, yeah, I remember that time my dad took me fishing.
Yep.
I remember that time my dad taught me how to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to you and your dad, you got to skip the subject like, y'all hungry?
Right. I get it.
We gonna order some food? What about your dad? I just want to know, is y'all hungry?
Right.
And you don't want to do that. And then I know that sometimes there are women out here that put a strain on that relationship.
Right.
It's tough.
I've been through it too, so I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I've had hiccups in my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to always be like, man, as being a father, yeah, it's important to take care of the kid, but you got to take care of the woman too because she's going to take care of the kid. And I used to say that before I had a kid and before I got to my first argument with a kid. After I got, I was like, man, fuck that. I'm mad, son. I ain't paying this, but it's a...
You get past it, you get over it, and you understand what you're there for. Yeah.
And you get older, and you get to that point, we all going to get there when you're in the hospital, when you're in that bed, and then your life start flashing by.
Right.
And then the thing that's going to hurt you the most is the relationship that you did not develop with your kid. And that's the real thing. I ain't trying to hate on nobody or nothing.
Right.
And as hard as it is on the money side, the attitude side, I encourage anybody or any father to try to do everything. Like, some people say they trying everything, but try everything.
Really exhausted.
Don't just do the little bit. Try everything.
Well,
because your kid don't know. A kid don't, especially a little boy.
They don't understand it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All they know is the outcome. They don't understand the process.
And all they know is the love that they get. The best feeling, when Kobe Bryant passed away, the thing that hurt me the most, and I was coming home from the airport from being on the road.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen my son in 5 days. Right? And then when I saw my son, first thing he said was, Daddy! A tear, I had a thug-ass tear, so I had a little ass shit in it.
A little bit.
Came down. Because I'm like, Kobe ain't going to, his kid, they never going to say that.
Never son, they get it. Yeah, I get it. I
So
get
you
it.
better
That
live.
hit close to home. I get what you're saying.
Today for tomorrow.
There it is, man. Donnell Rawlings, thank you for coming by once again, bro.
Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man. It's your boy Reec, Hot 107.9. We out.